Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we've now reached the end of yet another series. That being, what if Madara was reincarnated in Konosuba? Konosuba, the Last Shinobi of the Wonderful World, Season 2, Part 7, the Season 2 finale. Of course, this isn't where the story ends. As you guys have heard recently, Konosuba has been confirmed for a Season 3. So, yes, Madara and his friends in the world of Konosuba will return in the near future. However, we have some other stuff to get into before then. That being that this Saturday, we are going to be doing the Konosuba movie with What If Madara Was in Konosuba, the movie. Also, there might be some other surprises that you'll see along the way, but that'll be revealed in due time. As always, when I reach the end of a series, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been here from the very beginning. Thank you for all of your support as we now see a story to yet another completion. And I hope you'll stick around for everything else that we have coming out now and in the near future here on PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The people of Arkenretia continue to form in their angry mob, all surrounding the inn where Madara and his friends and enemy were all currently huddled together. Aqua was not having the best of times, Tobirama was trying to console her, and everyone else was fearing for their lives. Wiz would look to Madara in that moment, wondering what they should do. I could put them all under a genjutsu. That should be able to— No, Tobirama would say. You're not going to try to manipulate people with your Sharingan. We can find another way to do things. Always another way with you, isn't it? Well, since you're feeling all high and mighty, why don't you and our resident goddess here go out and confront the crowd? Are you insane? They'll be insociable. The best thing for us to do is to retreat and plan our next strategy. Strategy? What's there to plan? She's the one going around destroying the hot springs. I can fix that later with my water style. I can easily turn the water back into spring water with my ninjutsu. All we have to do is figure out how it's being poisoned and cut it off at the source, Madara. Is that too difficult for you to handle? Fine. I guess all we need to do is— Everyone looked around to try to see where Aqua had gone. She had disappeared. Why was the window open? They all looked out as Aqua was using her Raymond as a large balloon to, well, fly the coop, as it were. And everyone else ended up following after, as they all found themselves hiding along inside of the back alleyways, trying to figure out what they were going to do. Why are we even trying to save this town? They're all full of idiots, Madara thought. We could just leave. Both Megumin and Kazuma were more than happy to follow Madara's example here, but Aqua was persistent that she save her people. As such, they found themselves trekking up the mountains where the hot spring water came from, arriving at the gate where the guards would be standing by. They had been told by the innkeeper to make sure that no one else came through. An important distinction was that the hot springs was not the only place that was used in Arkenretia. There were also small villages and towns and other people surrounding the area that also depended on the water. So having it be poisoned was not in the best interest of everyone. As they arrived, the guards would turn them all away, not allowing anyone to come to the gate. Madara was prepared to just use genjutsu on the guards, but once again Tobirama cut him off at the pass. He was getting annoyed. But that's when Kazuma had an idea. They had someone with nobility on their side. They could just use her and her clout to get the gate open. Well, Darkness, aka La Latina Dustina's Ford, was not too thrilled about just throwing her family's name around whenever it suited her. Although this turned into a rather troublesome situation as Kazuma ended up holding her down to try to grab the family crest that was hidden under her armor. It didn't help when Aqua and Megumin got involved also, and subsequently Tobirama. Madara just sitting to the side, allowing them to, well, act like a bunch of idiots. Wiz would look over there worriedly, not sure what to do. Madara, should we? Just sit down, Wiz. Let them figure it out. Wiz would do as she was told, sitting beside Madara. They waited for what seemed like forever until eventually they got dependent and they were able to get past the guards. For Madara, it was more amusing than anything else. But since he kinda didn't want to be here in the first place, he wasn't gonna put that much effort into it. Besides, they just shot down his idea every single turn. Eventually, they found where the source of the trouble was coming from. A man with his hand stuck inside of the spring water that was leaking off a black ooze, poisoning it at its core. Of course, everyone stood ready for battle, but Wiz, well, she thought he looked familiar. The man tried to play it off and pretend like he didn't know her, but as Wiz got a closer look, she realized she knew who this was. Hans! Hi, Hans! It's me, Wiz! Don't you remember? Hans! Hello! Hi, Wiz! How you doing? It's so good to see you, Hans! How you been? You know him? Madara would ask. He's one of the Devil King's generals. Everyone looked to Wiz worriedly. I knew it! She was colluding with the Devil King, Tobirama would say. He was ready to run towards Wiz before Madara drew his sword, pointing it right after him. She's clearly not. And if you try to come towards her again, I'll have your head singe you. You would collude with the Devil King, Uchiha scum. Do you want to fight with me, Tobirama? Any day of the week, Madara. Guys, please. I'm not working with him. I've just known him for a long time. That's all. Yeah, she doesn't really work with us anymore, Hans would say. One by one, everyone stood ready to deal with Hans. Kazuma was especially motivated when he found out that he was nothing but a slime. However, Hans quickly demonstrated that slimes were not beings to be trifled with. Of course, Hans was particularly mad at Wiz. You airheaded buffoon! How would you expose me like this? I was supposed to be in and out with no troubles at all. But then you just had to go and reveal me and get caught up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You're just a complete idiot. No wonder why the Devil King was so ready to let you go. You're nothing but a waste of... Before he could finish his sentence, he found his face being smacked with the Gunbai fan as he was sent flying across the battlefield. Talk to her like that again, and I swear, you will suffer the slowest and most painful death you could possibly imagine. And just who the hell are you? I am Madara Uchiha. And I don't care in particular who you are. You're nothing really to write home about. Is that so? Hans looked at him menacingly. I'm one of the Devil King's strongest generals, and I'm not someone that you should take lightly. After all, just ask the people of the surrounding villages what happens when they mess with me. Isn't really a whole lot left of them. Wiz looked at him. Hans, what did you do? Where's the innkeeper? And what happened to the surrounding villages? What can I say? I got hungry. You, Madara would say. as the realization hit them. Those villages and towns, they had women, children. While they were in Arkenretia, there were some reports that towns were going completely missing. Not a trace of anyone. They were all gone, and it was because of him. Even Tobirama was disgusted. Aqua, she was distraught. Before Madara could retaliate, though, Wiz would walk past all of them. The cold aura of ice beginning to emanate all around her body. How dare you? What? Are you serious? You actually care about those people? You're nothing but an undead lich. And besides, it wasn't the same way back in the day. From what I remember, you used to be the most cold-hearted and ruthless out of all of the generals. So what, you finally gotten soft? Where was that spine you used to have? You hurt so many innocent people. I left under the condition that you wouldn't harm civilians. Come on, Wiz. You and I both know you don't have what it takes to... Hans found half of his body frozen in that moment. You see, before Wiz became a ditzy shopkeeper who somehow lost money the harder she worked, there was another side of her. As Madara looked on in shock, Wiz would turn to him. You know, the reason why I love you so much is because you're not the only one with the past. What are you saying? Before I was known as Wiz, I went by another name. I was known as the Ice Witch. And I'm going to show you why. Wiz would begin to unleash her power, Hans being forced to transform into his monstrous state just to hold her off. The clash of power was astounding, and for Madara, he got to see another side of her. A side of Wiz he couldn't have possibly fathomed. But what does she mean by past? Was she like him? Maybe they weren't so different after all. However, even for as strong as Wiz was, she couldn't handle him on her own. Madara knew they were going to have to help, and as such, he had to do what many shinobi have always done: coming up with a strategy. Darkness, you go to the civilians. Keep them out of harm's way. Kazuma, you need to distract that thing. Megumin, start channeling your explosion magic. Aqua, get to the base of the springs and start repairing the damage immediately. Tobirama, guard her. Everyone would nod as they began to make their move. Before Kazuma left though, as he was still a bit nervous, Tobirama would hand him a kunai. Just hold on to that and run to the edge of the cliff and jump. That should get far enough away and keep Hans out of the blast radius and protect the town. Yeah, but what am I supposed to do with this thing? Just hold on to it with your life. Do not let that out of your hands. As long as you hold on to it, you'll be fine. Now go. Right! Kazuma would take off at blinding speeds, running ahead as he yelled towards Hans. Hans catching sight of the young man as he feared for his life. Hey, you overgrown bucket of slime! Where I come from, you're nothing but a piece of toadstool that I wash under my feet! You dare talk to me like that, boy? Toadstool? Well, actually, I think you're worse than Toadstool. Kazuma looked back to him with a smirk as he gave him the middle finger. You're lower than a piece of shit. You're going to be the first to die. Kazuma continued to run as everyone prepared their attacks. Madara would take Wiz and take her beside Tobirama. If you combine your water ninjutsu along with her ice, that should be powerful enough to keep him in place. I'm going to back up Megumin, and together we're going to incinerate that slime. With everyone having their assignments, now the plan was set. Tobirama, being with the water that was available with him, would weave through a series of hand signs, while Wiz began to channel her ice magic. At the ready, it was time to unleash. Senju art, water style, wild water wave jutsu. Ice magic, frozen emerald sky. The flashing water wave would engulf the slime as it went racing towards Kazuma, as Kazuma jumped off the side of the cliff. Kazuma looked back towards the slime and the whole mass that was about to fall upon him. He clenched that kunai with dear life as Tobirama used the flying Raijin to call him and the kunai back to safety. With Hans now being swallowed by the water, and with the frozen magic being used, it would freeze the large blob holding it in place, while Megumin would unleash her massive explosion. Timing it just right, Madara would use the great fire style fire dragon jutsu, creating a fiery dragon that would swallow up the explosion, engulfing it and merging it into itself. Ninja art, collaboration jutsu, incinerating dragon of explosions. The dragon that had now swallowed the explosion grew 10 times in size, swallowing the slime frozen in place. The massive explosion would occur off in the distance, with the people watching on as the enemy had seemingly been destroyed. However, despite all of that, there was still a part of Hans that remained, a part that Aqua was more than ready to finish. As she summoned the fury of the gods within her left hand, using the goddess Requiem, Aqua would dash forward, delivering the punch of the gods, striking at Hans, who continued to resist with his poisonous slime. However, she would not be alone in this, for standing to her left and to her right, both Tobirama and Madara, as they placed their hands on her shoulder, imbuing her with their strength. The people of Axel would continue to cheer as the city of Arkenretia became a battlefield. They yelled out the mantras of Aqua. It was okay to give up sometimes when things are too hard. It's okay to forgive yourself whenever you struggle a bit. You're not perfect after all. Slay the demon. Defeat the Devil King. The goddess Ares pats her chest, giving Aqua the newly found strength that she needed to move forward. She would deliver the final blow to Hans, defeating the deadly slime and killing him in that instant. With Hans now defeated, the people of Arkenretia would cheer. Did they believe Aqua was their goddess? Hell no. But in the end, they were grateful to her. And not just to Aqua, but to also her allies. And thankfully, Tobirama, after recovering, was able to use his ninjutsu to restore the waters back to the proper hot springs that they used to be. Otherwise, they would have been in real trouble since everything just would have been boiling hot water. Safe to say, the vacation was coming to an end, thankfully. The last night, everyone unwind. There was no more fighting, no more worries. And for Madara, he got to enjoy his time there. Of course, Wiz had to recover after almost using all of her power and dying as well, but even still, he didn't have to go out anywhere far. He was just happy to be there with her. As she awoke in her bed, Madara, who was sitting by her bedside, would slowly stir himself. Hey, how you feeling? I'm fine. Have you been sitting here this whole time? Yeah, wasn't gonna leave you by yourself. Thank you. Madara, it's okay. Really. So, you're an ice user, huh? It's not a side of me that I like to talk about very much. You know, you're always so hard on yourself about your past, about what you did. But you're not the only one. I was still one of the Devil King's generals. I didn't live the best of life. To be honest, whenever Lady Aqua wants to destroy me, I can't say she's wrong. I'm not pure and innocent the way a lot of people think I am. I'm an awful person and I've done awful things. Honestly, I don't think I deserve this sort of happiness. To have friends and people like you. Honestly, I feel like I deserve the... Madara would wipe away her tears as he smiled. You are who you are. And I'm happy that I've gotten to meet someone like you. Truthfully, I think it's best if you and I both leave our past behind. What do you mean? I've been thinking for a while, you know, about getting back to my homeland, the world I came from. I had all these ideas about what I'd do when I got there, although truthfully, there's a good chance I might not ever get there even if I do defeat the Devil King. So I've been thinking, what's going to be left for me then? This world, the people in it, it's going to be my home. And I'm going to protect it. And that includes you. Wiz and Madara would look into each other's eyes, the two of them sharing a passionate kiss that night. For Madara, this was something he had been struggling with for a while now. It was something that haunted him in his dreams. Even that very night, Madara found himself in a dark plane of existence. His younger self, and standing in front of him, his older self. The Madara of legend. The one feared by all of the great nations. The one who went toe to toe with the god of shinobi. So this was your dream, Madara Uchiha. This is the fate you've decided for yourself. Yeah, it is. I knew you didn't have the resolve. It's not about resolve. It's about me deciding what I want from my life. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. Fighting. Really? I can hardly call what you've done in this world a real fight. You were humiliated, defeated, and you're just going to let that stand? You're going to let Naruto get away with... He won, all right? I lost. Despite all the power, despite everything I had, I still lost. I accept that. It's okay. We don't have to keep doing this anymore. You foolish boy! You think it's that easy? It's that easy to forget everything you've gone through, everything you've worked for your entire life, and you're willing to let it all go. Yes, I am! I choose her. I choose them. I don't want to be this person anymore. To wake up with hate, sadness, anger, all of these emotions. I hate it. I hate it. My brother, our brother, father, mother, they're all gone. I held on to that for so long. And the worst part, I don't even think I cared. I got to a point where I didn't care anymore. You could try to lie to everyone else, but you can't lie to me. You just fought to make your own self happy. You didn't care about saving people, creating a world where there's no winners or losers. You gave up on that a long time ago. You think so? I know so. How many lives did we take? How many lives did we ruin? Oh God, what have I done? I don't ever want to be like you. I will never be like you again. Whether I like it or not, I am grateful to Aqua. She blessed me with a second chance to right the biggest wrongs in my life. I've been given something that so many other people will never get, and I'm not going to waste it. So no, I am not going back. I am going to stay here. I'm going to protect my friends, and I will defeat the Devil King. Do you hear me? The older Madara looked into his younger self, the determination in his eyes, the strength and resolve. Very well then. If that is your decision, then so be it. But just know, the pain that you think you can escape, it will take over you. Someday, you will lose everything that you love once again. And when you're left with nothing, you'll come back to me. Because after all, the older Madara would begin to fade in his dreams. It's not like I ever left. The next day, Madara and friends would all return back home, back to the city of Axel. Tobirama followed them. He was going to stick around for a bit. If he stuck with them long enough, maybe he could find Hashirama, figure out what was going on. And he had to keep an eye on Madara also. You never know what that guy was going to pull. As they arrived back, Madara would take Wiz back home, saying goodbye to her as he walked through the streets. The people of Axel smiling happily towards him. Little children running up and giving him hugs and even offering him a flower. For Madara, as he thought to himself, he wondered, is this what Hashirama wanted him to see? Was this what it meant to care for a village, a country, a town, whatever? To see things bigger than just yourself. To have the love to care for others, to defend them no matter what. Madara could feel his resolve growing. Perhaps this was his true will of fire, his destiny. One that he would see through till the end. As Madara and his friends arrived back to the mansion, both Kazuma and Megumin running inside to jump on the couch happily, Aqua ready to go relax with a drink, and Darkness ready to go take a bath, Madara sat near the window looking out, seeing a bright blue sky, the birds flying, and seeing the beauty all around him. To this wacky, crazy, mysterious, and wonderful world, God bless it, one and all. This concludes Konosuba, the last shinobi of the wonderful world. What if Madara Uchiha was reincarnated in Konosuba? Season 2, Part 7, the Season 2 finale. First and foremost, once again, I want to say thank you to everyone who has enjoyed this series and been a part of it from the very beginning. But this isn't where the story ends. Like I said before, with Season 3 of Konosuba confirmed, sooner or later, you'll be seeing these lovable characters again in all new wonderful adventures as they continue to explore the wonderful world. Also, this Saturday, we are going to be doing the Konosuba movie edition of What If Madara Uchiha Was Reincarnated in Konosuba with the Konosuba movie Crimson Explosion. But that's not all that we're going to be doing here. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue My Hero Academia Heroes of the Morphin Grid. What if Deku was a Power Ranger? Part 19 of the Vigilante arc. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with Power Core Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.